Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Molechap here, coming at you with another Starcraft 2 commentary. And so basically this is an anti-spoiler video. I wanted to put up a video to be a fake game for the series between DIMAGA and Beasty. And when possible, I like to actually put up real games for those. And so what I like to do is, if I have a replay of my own playing around that I've saved for some reason, then I kind of, it's a good kind of filler because sometimes it's good to analyze my own games. So anyways, let me know if you want to see more of this, by the way, just me analyzing my own games. I don't do it too often because I'm not that good. So there's not a ton to learn from my games, as much as it's not nearly as exciting as watching an actual pro. In any case though, but I figured this would be a good filler game for filling in for a an anti-spoiler game. In any case, so I'm just going to talk about my own play style and stuff. This is actually from a while ago. I had this replay saved for some reason, and you guys say, okay, well, don't tell us who gave you the replay because it spoils who gave it to you. Often that is the case, not always. But I have actually posted replays of myself losing before as well, because there's as much to learn. It's actually more to learn from your own losses than there is from your own wins. So I think I remember if I won this game or not, but I don't remember for sure. But I'm not going to say either way anyway, because just in case you guys are wondering, I am not going to be doing this in a play-by-play fashion, though. I'm not going to be saying, oh my god, Moletrap's doing this, because I just feel silly doing that. So don't expect that from me. But anyway, this is should be an interesting game at the very least, hopefully. Hopefully you guys enjoy it, and maybe we'll be able to learn something from it. So I'm playing against a guy called Liquid, and I don't think he has any association with Team Liquid. And I believe at this point in time, I may have been Diamond. No, I don't think I was Diamond yet at this point. I think I was still Platinum at this point. And I did get into Diamond for a little while, and then I didn't play for a couple weeks, and I got really rusty, and it's the system on a BNet is not very forgiving. So when you're rusty, so I got demoted back to Platinum again. Kind of embarrassing. My goal is to get back up to Diamond very quickly, though. I know I'm Diamond level play. Even when I was in Platinum, I was playing Diamond level players, and I was beating them sometimes. So anyway, but I have a lot of sort of bad karma in my rating system. Wow, Liquid's going for a lot of gas here. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. So I usually drone scout, by the way. I think we saw me drone scout earlier. I like to do that a lot. Just because I want to see it. You don't lose a ton. I usually drone scout like right after I get my overlord, because I want to get my overlord as fast as possible, and then I send out a drone after that, depending on what the player level of the map, you know, if it's 4-player or 2-player or whatever. I usually still do it anyway, just because, even if it's a 2-player map, just because I want to see extra early if they're going for like a 2-racks build or something like that. I'm going to need to know about, because then I don't want to build any more drones after my hatchery. I want to just get that pool down as quickly as possible. SCV's going to come in and scout me, and I like to get a spine crawler very early as well. Again, just because I kind of like being a little bit defensive, and you know, the ideal is that you want to have your defenses in the form of mobile units, so that you can attack with them later as well. But I personally, and this is, you know, again, a lower level style play, although I've seen some pros do this as well, I personally like to get those early defenses, get up a spine crawler, so I've got something hefty in front there that I can fight alongside with Zerglings if there's any kind of a bunker rush or anything like that. I think I overmade Zerglings here because I was expecting more. Yeah, sometimes I overmake Zerglings. That's something I gotta pay more attention to, is, you know, if they're not putting pressure on me, I gotta make sure I don't freak out, because sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I need units, and I just hit Z, and then I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have built so many Zerglings. And then I have extra Zerglings, especially if they've walled in. So at this point, I'm really curious about what's going on. I didn't even know all this stuff was going on back here, because I run in here, and I keep running in and seeing what's going on, and I see there's like nothing here. There is a Marauder as well, which is really strange to have that Marauder there. The Tech Lab is worrying as well. I don't think I noticed that Tech Lab, actually, to be honest with you. This is Blistering Sands, by the way, and this is one of the things about this map that you can abuse, is if the opponent has a wall over here and they're protecting it really well, you can go and attack their rocks and make them build another wall. So I think at this point I was suspecting banshees, because usually if you go up and you check a Terran's wall and there's like no units there, it usually means they're going for a banshee rush. And let's see what I'm doing actually to respond. Yeah, so I got my Evo chamber up. I'm getting my lair. I think I get some spores here pretty soon because I was fearing banshees. But in fact, he's just going for kind of a drop build. He's got a medevac out, so that's kind of interesting. Double reactor barracks. Like I said, this isn't a build that you're really going to see in pro play. This is platinum level play. Now I have, as you can see, I have been making tons and tons of drones in the meantime there. Look at that. I'm at 38 drones. Yeah, 38 drones. And yeah, so here we go. So I got my spore crawlers up in my supply line. Actually, I guess I didn't get one here. I got my spore crawler up there because I was expecting banshees. And I'm starting to get a Bangling nest because I'm seeing more infantry when he was up here. So you need something for infantry. So I'm like, okay. I'm kind of walking through my thought process here. I'm like, okay, well, he's getting a lot of infantry. I need something that deals with that. I tend to use Banelings a lot more lately. I used to go roaches, but I'm liking the Baneling play. Actually, for a while, I didn't even ever make Banelings. I just didn't really think of it for some reason, and I never bothered with them. Whoa, 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 a little bit of lag going on. But then I saw something that Artosis was saying on one of the GSL VODs about, you know, how you need a Baneling. Oh my gosh, he's got a lot of SCVs for that one base. Does he actually? Well, I guess it's full saturation with a couple building. Artosis was talking about how you need something just in case to go for a bio rush. So I've started getting Baneling nest pretty early, regardless of what the Terran is doing. It's just handy to have a Baneling nest against Terran. And there we go, some Banelings morphing for me. Sweet. Wow, this Terran is going heavy one base play. So this is the kind of play that you do see in the platinum level and lower. You see a lot of one base play because players don't really want to bother expanding. It's hard to hold expansions, what have you, to go for these big all-ins. This guy's being really, really slow. Any really pro player would really be able to abuse the fact that this Terran player is just sitting in his base doing nothing. I've kind of abused it, actually. I've gotten a lot of drones going. I've got my economy going pretty well. I'm failing on keeping up with my spawn larvas. And the Terran's now going to move out. By the way, there's some really... If you guys do play Zerg, you should probably check out... There's different ways of doing your spawn larva. I usually... And I might change this, but I usually go... set my queens to 5, 6, and 7. And I'll just 5, 5 V click, 6, 6 V click, 7, 7 V click. And that's how I do it. So I can focus in on each hatchery and just... and spawn larvae at each location. Now, I've got an overlord over here. This is something I've also been trying to do a lot more lately, is spread out my overlords in good scouting locations around my map. So I believe I do see this. I'm not sure why Comset in my front there. I think I do see this sometime. Maybe I don't see it after all, actually. Okay, now I've got to see it. Now that he's killing my overlord, I see it. And there's my units coming up here. I got a lot of speedlings. Well, let's see what happens, actually. I got a spine crawler in here just in case. Oh, he's microing pretty well. Oh, this is where... no, it looks like I'm gonna probably lose this. Unless I land some good Banelings. Oh, I hit his Marauders with his Banelings, but it actually damaged the Marines to the splash damage. Oh, my Spire just finished, so I was waiting for my Mutas to pop. Oh, yeah, I think I kind of starting to remember this game now. How he ended up with just nothing anti-air, and so I'm like, alright, sweet, Mutas for the win. Any case, let's see here. What he's doing. Vikings! Yes! Vikings, a good counter to Mulisks. Not really. Whoa. Sorry about that. Oh, am I going to get more medevacs? Nope. Look at me, I'm so slick. Falling back my Mutas once I've done my damage. I actually am pretty proud of my Mutalisk Harass. I think I do pretty well with Mutalisk Harass. Once I get it going, because... and that's one of the reasons why I like Zerg, is because it's easier for me, at least, to macro in the background. I guess Terran, you can kind of do the same thing. You can macro off hotkeys. Protoss, you can't. It's harder to macro off hotkeys, so I don't like that quite as much. But I'm pretty good at harassing with my Mutas, and then you know you have your Mutas queued up to a certain number. I guess I've got them on 3. I usually have my air units on 3. And oh no! Oh, I'm gonna lose a bunch of Mutas. Anyway, well, I was starting to say how I can kind of keep track of my mutas and then, you know, really quickly hit 4SDDD or 4SZZZ or something like that. Oh, this is where, oh, I remember now. He made a big mistake. He ran his medevacs out there. He kind of had a, I think he has his whole army on one hotkey. Yeah, he's got his whole army on one hotkey. And so he A-moved it out here to make the Vikings attack me, and his medevacs ran out there on their own. So, in any case, this guy's clearly not terribly good. And I really don't mind insulting someone who makes stupid comments to me in the middle of a game. I haven't been making any more drones. I'm just like, all right, well, I'm just, he's one base. I'm just going to 2-base it. Might as well. And see, this is the thing. While I was working with those mutas, I was building up a lot of units. And so I'm kind of proud that I was able to go ahead and do that. Look at this. I'm even creeping. Oh, I'm so good. I'm not really that good, but he's got a lot of Vikings. So, by the way, for those of you newbies out here, for instance, newbies named Liquid, Vikings are not a good counter to Mutalisks. They have a good, well, they can be in combination with other stuff. They have a good range, so they can outrange Mutalisks. But if they ever go heads up with the Mutalisks and the Mutalisks are able to actually get there and attack them, then they suck because the Mutas just own them very, very quickly. And they have a slow refire rate, so they can't quite do it. And yeah, they're good in combination with like other stuff. See, the Vikings actually camped out on top of those Marines is actually a really good combo because then I can't engage those Vikings because they'll just own me. So anyway, at this point I realized I had way too much money. Hey, look at me, I've got 3,000 minerals in the bank. I'm like, oh crap, I need more stuff. And so I just threw down a bunch of hatcheries everywhere. And at this point I kind of knew I had won. And actually that's a dangerous thing to realize. It's a dangerous thing to realize for me when I realize I've won, because then I get complacent. This is something that's been a problem for me, at least, a lot. Because when I realize I've won, I kind of relax a little bit, right? I kind of ease my shoulders up and I relax and I throw overlords onto turrets, apparently. And I start making mistakes because I think I've won so badly. And so there have been a couple times where I have actually almost lost when I had it in the bag because I relaxed too much, started playing sloppy. And actually, there might have been 1 or 2 times when I actually did lose because of that. This lone Zergling taking one for the team to see if there's a planetary fortress there, which there is. I don't mind that he's expanded because I've got all kinds of expansions now. I probably need to send some drones there. There we go. Send in some drones. Alright, I'm not producing anything right now. Why am I not producing anything? That's kind of weird. Anyway, so yeah, at this point I kind of realize I've got it in the bag. And again, I'm trying to get, as a Zerg player, like I said, it's just really effective. You get a bunch of Mutalisks, and if you can just put them on a hotkey and run around and kill stuff and just try and find openings and basically keep the Terran in their base. And then if you can remember to, in the background, hit the hotkey for your hatcheries and then select, you know, just make stuff in the background, you're gonna come out ahead. Oh, I think this was cool what I did here. Look at this. Oh, look at me micro. Look at me surround. Oh, look at me. I'm so cool. Oh man, sorry, I'm not trying to brag. I was just like, oh man, that'd be cool if I was able to like surround those guys and protect them from the banglings, and I did. That was kind of nice. Wow. GG. At least he GG'd at the end. So anyway, just random little self-analysis. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I'm not the best player, as is made obvious by my 3,000 minerals in the bank and lack of micro at times and bad macro. But hopefully you guys can take something from my own self-analysis. And again, I just had to put something up to be an anti-spoiler video anyway, so I'm like, well, I might as well actually look at one of my replays. I am, if you guys didn't catch it before, I am going to be laddering a lot pretty soon. And so if you want to watch me laddering, I'm actually going to start streaming it because I might as well. So justin.tv/moletrap. And if you want to follow me on Twitter @moletrap or Facebook moletrapsc2, I'll be announcing when I'm streaming if you want to follow those. If you want to watch me laddering, I probably won't be talking too much. I'll just be laddering, and I might talk to myself a little bit, analyze games briefly afterwards. But I'm not good enough to really commentate while I'm playing that much. So Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.